Hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Happy Sunday. Glad to see y'all for another Sunday brunch at Necey's, okay? So again, if you're new here, every Sunday we get together for about 45 minutes to an hour. And if the episode is real juicy, it tips over into an hour and 15 minutes talking about these shows. So today we are going to pregame with Ladies Who List. And for those of you who don't know, last week, me and the Ooh Ladies First panel, which is Jamie, that's me, Bounty Blue, and Jay Lee's Corner, had the opportunity to sit down with Robin from Ladies Who List Atlanta. So if that's the show that you like to watch, woo, y'all, the interview, I think we had like probably 15, 20 questions lined up for Robin, but the conversation was just flowing. I think we got to like question number 6 before everything else was just a conversation and not really much of a question. So if you have not had a chance to check out that interview, I highly suggest you go do it. I always forget to add this type of stuff to my bio before we start. So let me go ahead and add it while we're talking. The interview wasn't on my channel. The interview was on Jamie That's Me's channel. The interview was lit, y'all. It was juicy. She was talking about everybody. So I'm going to post that in the bio. So check that out after we have brunch, okay? So go ahead and say what's up to your fellow brunchers in the chat, okay? I see Alicia, she on ready. T, hey. Yeah, let me add this to the chat so we can go ahead and get into the episode. And to be honest with y'all, Ladies Who List, we ain't going to talk about it for too long this Sunday. I always say that. But literally, Ladies Who List, we're not going to talk about it too long because really, in my mind, not too many entertaining things happen. The way that I like to do Ladies Who List is I watch the episode and try to take as minimal amount of notes as possible because that's just the pregame. It's a good show, but it's just the pregame. So the one thing that I think we should talk about is obviously the stuff that happened at the ranch. And then the second thing that I feel like we should talk about is Kiana's 40th birthday, where Crystal and Tiffany finally have this awkward ass conversation. I don't know what it was, but for me, I had never seen Crystal be so directly nasty. And y'all tell me if it was just me. I was kind of like, oh, Crystal had a point. Tiffany was talking in the abstract, and we're gonna talk about it. But that's the thing I had to get off my chest before we get in. Tiffany was talking in the abstract, and I wanted her to directly just be like, girl, I don't like your ass. But then she said, not me trying to watch you on my phone and Jamie on my TV, that ain't working. Y'all, I be trying to stagger it, but when I got to get out the door on Sundays, I be like, dang, do I want to premiere it or do I want to go live? And I be like, I want to go live. So I try to get on at the end so that way we ain't overlapping for too long. But I appreciate you supporting me and my girl, Jamie That's Me, okay? But y'all, yeah, none of that was making sense with the Crystal and Tiffany argument. It was just like, I was confusion. I kind of wanted somebody to be a little bit more direct. I really wanted Tiffany to be like, I don't fuck with you. I don't like you. And she didn't do that. Okay. So now that we have a couple of us in the room, I know more people will join. Y'all know the 2 things for you to go ahead and do is like, subscribe. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our new favorite show, Ladies Who List. And the episode leaves off with the ranch drama. For those of you who need a refresher, it was Libras only. So it was Robin, Crystal, Tiana, and not Crystal. Yeah, I'm just looking at this sign. It wasn't Crystal. Crystal was not invited. It was Robin, Kiana, Tiana, and Tiffany who were invited to go to the ranch. And when they got there, Robin was making a point by saying that women who do not have children don't consider other human beings the way that she does, or the way that some of the other women on the show who are mothers do. She was specifically referencing Crystal, but because we know that Kiana has been having some challenges with fertility, which they showcased 2 episodes ago, she was what? Triggered. And that's another reason why I need y'all to go watch the interview that we did on Jamie's channel with Robin. Robin talked about it. Okay. And I think Kiana was watching the interview. I ain't gonna lie. I know she was watching the interview because it was in the interview where Robin let us know, and don't quote me on this because I'm not repeating what she said word for word. I need y'all to go watch the interview. But Robin says that she feels like Kiana does things for the show. And this was in reference to her IVF journey. So probably the next day after we posted the interview, Kiana, she hops on Instagram and Kiana posts the receipts. Like, no, this ain't a lie. Why would I lie about IVF? She posts pictures of the injection. She posts doctor's receipts and things of that nature. And, you know, I'm going to be real with y'all. I don't think Robin's wrong for doubting that Kiana was doing things for the show. However, the only reason why I think that she was wrong was because she said it out loud. Because she said it out loud. That's one of the things that you never want to do, because it takes me back to whenever Candace was basically looked down upon because Candace was telling Ashley that Ashley didn't really want to get pregnant because she was drinking beer. Y'all remember that? So I kind of feel like, Robin, you can feel how you feel, but dang, you shouldn't have said it because the people was going to come down on your head. And, you know, the good thing is the interview really was, it was really positive light, positive energy. So that little portion of her giving her opinion on Kiana didn't even overshadow what the interview was all about. So either way, go watch it. So anyway, Kiana posted her receipts, and I thought that was too funny because, you know, little old me, I be on YouTube just talking and giving my opinions, not really even thinking that people be watching. But no, they be watching, and they head over to Instagram and they give their opinion or they show receipts. So anyway, the ranch, okay? Again, Robin, Tiana, Tiffany, and Kiana. And the energy is a bit different because Kiana does not have her little followers or the group of haters to back her up. So in a situation where Robin was specifically talking about Crystal, Kiana jumped in and said, I don't have kids. I feel like you're talking about me. They go back and forth. It's not about you. It's not about you. And Kiana's like, I don't care. I'm going to correct you every single time. So obviously, Kiana was triggered. Tiana then jumps in. And girl, whenever Tiana did this, low-key, I was like, you are literally working your way to be my favorite person on this show, Tiana. Like, no lie. Tiana jumps in and says, regardless of the fact, like, let's get to the base of what Robin was saying. Let's take our personal feelings out of this. She's just saying that the way that we think about one another is different than the way that you think, which is clear because Kiana literally thinks that she's the main character. I think that she's upset that she is not the main character of the show. I don't care how many fashions she got. I don't care how many billboards she got over the city of Atlanta. She's not the main character of the show, even though she's giving main character energy at every single turn. So I think she's upset about that. And clearly Tiana can see it. So that's when they getting going back and forth. So Tiffany, she plays devil's advocate a little bit. And she says to Robin, you can't just say, stop being sensitive if you know that someone is sensitive about the situation. So it was kind of like Tiffany was the first of the group who seemed to say, like, you don't really know what she's going through. So that's why she may be sensitive to what you said. And as soon as she said that, Tiana said, well, you might be triggered. And Kiana, she turns up and she says to Tiffany, you better not say a damn thing about my business to these people, about my fucking business. She cussed. And I was like, dang, not you checking Tiffany, telling Tiffany not to share your business about your fertility journey. So this is, okay, let's be real, y'all. In a regular ass world, when you're not being filmed on a reality TV show, fine. You don't want to tell these people about your struggles with your fertility journey. However, it was already filmed in an episode that you were getting IVF treatment and that you were going to go see doctors. So I'm not understanding why you couldn't just step outside of yourself and say to Robin, this bothered me because X. And that's why I enjoy seeing characters like Robin on the show, no matter how raw and blunt she is, because you at least know what she's going to give you. And that's exactly what Kiana said about her too. So anyway, Tiana says to her, I can tell you right now, Kiana, or Kuana. She kept calling her Kiana. You're not my type. You're not my type. I'm not struggling for friends and you're not my type. And I busted out laughing because I was like, Tiana, you are me, I am you. I love it. I love the energy with Tiana because she's all for the peace, okay? She's for peace. She does not like to stir shit up. But it seems like as soon as you press her button, she is not afraid to call her out. So I'm like, okay. And then Jasmine, I'm glad that you said this comment. So Jasmine said it could have been edited weird. Funny you say so. So what I have been hearing is that the scene, and I didn't hear this from Robin. This is something that I heard from a viewer in one of my lives. The scene where Kiana is at the doctor's office with her husband talking about their fertility journey, I heard that that was filmed much, much, much later because Kiana didn't feel like she had a fair perception of who she was. It didn't seem like her character or the way that she was perceived was multifaceted. So she wanted to go get some softer shit in there so that way we wouldn't just see her with the drama. So maybe that's why she didn't come out and fully say to Robin, hey, I'm triggered by this because I'm struggling. Because maybe it was something that she didn't plan on sharing until she needed something to round her character or round herself out on this TV show. Who knows? That's just my guess. That's just my speculation. Y'all tell me if y'all think that that could be possible. Of course. So anyway, Kiana and Robin, they end up having a conversation after Tiffany and Tiana runs off. Tiana is heated. She walks away. Tiffany follows after her good friend. Then we just see Robin and Kiana having a conversation. And Robin is telling her, like, you know, you need to walk in light, be a little bit more positive. And to me, Robin, you my girl. We had a good conversation last week. But Robin, all of the chaos stemmed from you and Kiana having beef, right? And it wasn't even necessarily beef. Let me correct myself. All of the chaos this episode stemmed from Kiana being triggered by what you said. But somehow it ended with you advising Kiana on what to do and Kiana beefing with Tiana. That was weird as hell to me, okay? That was weird as hell to me because let's be real, okay? Even this beef that happened towards the end of the episode between Crystal and Tiffany, the beef between them two, it wouldn't have been brought to light if it weren't for Tiffany standing up for Robin or taking sides with Robin. And then ultimately, Robin ended up being the one who was like, y'all should talk. So I feel like we're seeing two similar things. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? We're seeing two similar things, okay? Robin and Kiana, the friction started right there. However, it ended up with Tiana getting into it with Kiana because of something that was said by Robin. And the same for Crystal and Tiffany. So I'm kind of just like, how is this happening? I'm not understanding. I'm just gonna keep watching, okay? I'm just gonna keep watching because it doesn't seem like Robin is stirring the pot. But it seems like Robin is the one who's saying things that gets people emotional, gets people worked up, and then somehow Robin has forgotten about it in the end, and then beef between two other people prevails. So I don't know. So we see a bunch of other closings in between. We see Crystal's dad coming on the show. They show some Black developers. Love to see it. And then we also see a little bit of Kiana working with a Black developer for her brokerage. Love to see it. The last thing that I want to talk to y'all about is Crystal and Tiffany. So Crystal and Tiffany finally are forced to have an awkward ass sit down at Kiana's 40th birthday party, which was glamorous AF. What did y'all expect? So, this was cringe as fuck. It was cringe AF. And I can't necessarily put my finger on why. I feel like Crystal was talking in the abstract, Tiffany was talking in the abstract, but ultimately everything that came out of Tiffany's mouth was, I don't really give a fuck, because I don't feel like Tiffany cared enough to have a conversation with Crystal at all. Which is why I don't think she just came out and was like, I don't fuck with you. She said that in so many different ways, but she didn't want to put her energy towards it. So she was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it is what it is. So anyway, the conversation starts. They go back and forth over some lightweight stuff. And ultimately, Crystal mentions how her and how Tiffany and Robin are cool. And she says, well, okay, me and Robin are good. Okay. So that's that. Me and Robin are good. That lets me know that Crystal feels a way that Tiffany could be influencing Robin to see through Crystal's bullshit. And to me, it's very much giving whenever a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever your relationship, makeup is, whenever two partners get into an argument, one of them go and vent to their best friend, and then the best friend tells you, girl, leave. And then as soon as the two partners get back together, the other one who was in the wrong is feeling some type of way about their friendship. And that's exactly how I was feeling when I seen Crystal. So Tiffany, she just simply explains to her, like, I'm a vibe type of person. Crystal wants to know, why is it that we've been in the same room? We've known each other for years. I'm a top performer. You're a top performer. We're both Black girls. And, we haven't had a conversation. And Tiffany's like, but we've had conversations. We've been in rooms. We've spoken to each other, but I'm just a vibes type of person. And if the energy is not there, then I'm just not going to press it. This is where Crystal got me effed up. I literally hate whenever people try to pull the Black Girl Magic card. Okay? Black Girl Magic is a beautiful thing. But whenever you got a nasty ass, sneaky ass, networky ass collector of friends type of personality like Crystal, don't come to me on no Black Girl Magic stuff, making it seem like I'm supposed to be forced to have a relationship with you based on the simple fact that we're both Black girls. Amazing. Okay. We can be in the same room. We can attend the same events together. I can attend your events, but we don't necessarily have to be best friends just because we're both Black girls. And Crystal, you know that that's not your motive for getting close to Tiffany. Your motive to getting close to Tiffany is to make sure that Tiffany does not pull the cloak from over your ass and show Robin who you really are. You need to make sure that you're on the end. And when I tell y'all, this shit is so weird to me. Like, I literally have had a friend. I had a friend exactly like Crystal. It is just so weird to me watching this back. And I know everybody's probably experienced this to a certain degree. Y'all let me know in the chat, live chat. Have you ever had a friend who made it impossible for you to make new friends without them being in the mix? Okay. I had a friend where if I got closer to someone who they didn't necessarily know, or if it was someone that was in a similar, big group of us that I got closer to, it would always have to be like all three of us. Or no, I have to do this, or let me make sure I'm involved in some way, shape, or form. That to me is just hella weird. And that's exactly what Crystal is doing with Tiffany. Y'all tell me if y'all experienced the same thing before. So next, you guys, Crystal, she is trying to decipher what exactly Tiffany means by saying I'm a vibe type of person. She's saying, if I don't vibe with you, we just don't vibe. And Crystal says, I'm sorry, I'm a direct type of person. So are we talking about me? And when she said that, I was like, oh, because low key, Tiffany, you were talking in the abstract. So I have to say, Crystal had you with that one. But y'all, this conversation was so confusing. That's why I have so many different thoughts. Okay. Even though Crystal was direct in that one moment by saying, oh, sorry, I'm a direct type of person, she had moments where she chose to be blunt and direct, and moments where she chose to play stupid and gaslight. So let's be real, they both were talking in the abstract. So yeah, of course she talks about the same industry, and that's where Crystal goes to her confessional not Crystal. Tiffany goes to her confessional and says that I believe she's only trying to get close to me because I'm close with Robin now. So anyway, Tiffany then says, now that we're talking about Black Girl Magic, let's talk about how you tried to swoop Kira's business from underneath me. Why would you do that? And then she said, even whenever you and Robin got into it, Robin came to me and was willing to give me all of her closings. And that's where she says, I don't operate like that. My friendships are not built on a business. My friendships don't operate like that. My friends see me as I am, take me as I am, and that's how I move, right? So anyway, as soon as Tiffany brings that up and was like, "Oop, okay, I got another one for you," that's where Crystal says, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about at all. I just expect for whenever I meet someone that they would be nice. So no, Crystal, you don't want to go that direction. You don't want to talk about you stealing her business potentially. You don't want to talk about Robin flipping the script and handing over dollars to somebody else over y'all falling out. So that's where you go back into saying that Tiffany should just be nice to you. So Tiffany just then explains, like, I don't have expectations for people I don't know. That's simple. So after that confusing ass conversation, Crystal gets upset, obviously, because she cannot get through to Tiffany. And Tiffany, in so many words, is saying, I just don't fool with you. And Crystal gets up and she leaves. So that's pretty much the end of that conversation. Tiffany is venting to Tiana and was like, girl, I don't even care to talk about it. Crystal goes over to Robin and talk about it. And like, I don't know. It was a confusing ass conversation. Y'all in the live chat, tell me what y'all felt came of that. To me, it was nothing. To me, I feel like both of them were, not really trying to say what it was that they felt. Crystal has a way of trying to back people into a corner to make them say what it is that she doesn't really want to say. She even did that last episode when her and Robin made up. When her and Robin made up, she basically backed Robin in a corner, saying, like, if you don't want to have this conversation, if we're done, that's on you. And it's like, do you want to be cool with her or not? Don't put the ball in Robin's court if you're the one that, girl, what? It's just so confusing. And I feel like that's what she was trying to do with Tiffany this episode. She was trying to force Tiffany to say that there was some weird energy going on, when ultimately, let's be real, this entire time, Tiffany has been saying, I don't feel no type of way about Crystal. We just don't vibe. The person who's been calling out the energy has been Crystal. So I'm just like, Crystal, say what it is that you said to Robin, which was that the energy was off and that you don't think that she fools with you. She's telling you, no, that's not the case. Both of y'all know y'all don't like each other. And I'm just like, what's going on? Yes, Jasmine, she says, I think they know that they don't like each other. They don't. That's why I'm like, why can't neither one of y'all just say that first? And then T says, nothing came of it. They could have shortened it. They could have shortened it. It was confusing as hell, okay? And with that being said, y'all, I'm ready to move on and ready to love, okay? Y'all go ahead and like the video so we can get into I have to say, y'all, I feel like this is my new favorite season. All right, y'all. So on this episode of Ready to Love, there are 2 new singles again. And this is going to be the last batch of 2 new singles that we get. But to me, I'm actually enjoying the random mix. And I have to say, I feel like they have the most attractive group of people on this season that I've seen, at least since I've been watching. And I think this episode, they saved the last 2 for last on purpose. Okay. So it is 2 new couples, as I said before. Wiley is the one who is chosen to go on a date with the new girl. And Tommy wants to hook him up because, Wiley is getting a lot of slack for being the youngest on the show. He's 32 years old. And every time one of the women talks to Wiley, it's kind of just like, he's a baby. I don't want to be a cougar. So it's going to be another young girl on the show. And I got really excited because I'm like, okay, hopefully Wiley finds somebody. Honestly, y'all, I don't think this girl is going to be the one for Wiley, but I got excited for him to begin with. So it is the men's choice this week. There's a woman going home. So let's go ahead and get into this date. So we are introduced to Christina, but I think she goes by Tina. She is beautiful, beautiful. She looks like a bronze Barbie doll. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. She's 31 years old. And what we find out about her is that she has a 2-year-old daughter, and her last relationship 2.5 years ago was toxic. We heard this about 3 times this episode, that her last relationship was toxic. Now, to me, that's a red damn flag. That is a red flag. And I feel like a lot of people have had toxic. That's a damn lie. Let me be honest. I don't think a lot of people have had toxic relationships. I believe that toxic relationships can happen to people sometimes. But the simple fact that it was mentioned when she talked to Paul, when she talked to Wiley, and when we met her in the confessional, this toxic relationship was referred to multiple times. It made me wonder what's the issue. Okay. It takes two for a toxic relationship. It takes two. Even if one person is the aggressor, it takes the second person to be able to say, I'm better than this, I deserve more, or to be compliant and keep it going. It seems as though she's grown from this, but a 2-year-old baby still screams fresh. So if the relationship was 2.5 years ago and her baby is 2 years old, I wonder if they were only dating for like 6 months before she got pregnant. And then whenever Wiley was talking to her about the relationship, she said that it's nothing going on. There's no relationship with the child's father. But to me, she said it in a way for me to believe that the dad is not involved in their lives, like at all. So I don't know what happened. She did say in her confessional that that was the last time it would happen to her. So I'm just like, okay. I'm not sure. Oh, thank you, Jada. Jada said she was cheated on while she was pregnant. Okay, I missed that. But anyway, no, she didn't say how long she was in a relationship. She just said it was 2.5 years ago. But yeah, she was really pretty. I have to say, when it came to Wiley, boy, if we're going on a date to a restaurant, please do not wear anything with a drawstring in it. I don't care how many muscles you got. Don't wear nothing with a drawstring in it. Not to no nice sit down restaurant, but whatever. She looked cute. So anyway, Wiley was cheesing because this girl was so pretty. And he says, man, you looking like a caramel sundae. You looking like this. You looking like that. And she said, oh, you might as well just be a Snicker. And these people are too damn funny because the level of middle-aged, corny-ass jokes that we've gotten this whole season has just been comical. So it's clear that both of them are feeling each other on the physical side, but that's where Wiley says that he needs to make sure that they connect mentally because he likes to connect mentally first. So we really didn't get any deep conversations from them. And even if they had a deep conversation, I would not put it past OWN Network to edit it out because they edit everything. Yes, Gigi. Boy, he was all teeth. He was cheesing, definitely. So, yes, I know a lot of y'all are saying it looked like her boobs were gonna fall out. Yeah, it did look like her boobs was gonna fall out. She's pretty though. She's like a damn Barbie doll. So anyway, let's move on. Like I explained to y'all before, she told Wiley that her last relationship was toxic. And I want to be 100% real with y'all. That wasn't the time where I was able to say there was a red flag. Whenever she first explained that she was in a toxic relationship, I was like, okay, like I probably wouldn't have led with that. But it seems like she's been leading with it because in the confessional, she referred to her toxic relationship. When she met with Wiley, she referred to her toxic relationship. Y'all want to know what the hitter was for me? The hitter for me was whenever she showed attraction towards Paul. Whenever she showed interest in Paul, that was the red flag for me. And that's when I was kind of like, damn, I wonder if it's something wrong with her. We'll get into that. So we move on from meeting our first new person to our second new person, and his name is Donovan. He's 42 years old and he is a realtor. Another handsome man. Handsome man, okay? He goes on a date with Precious and her bang. Precious and the bang show up to the date, and they are quite excited, quite horny because they've been celibate for 6 long months, her and the bang. And Donovan, what we find out about him is that he was married for 12 years. And as soon as he said he was married for 12 years, Precious was shocked. But lucky I was not. I wasn't shocked at all. She asked why his relationship ended, and I already knew why the relationship ended when he walked in there, all GQ with them sunglasses on and a nose ring. Okay. Whenever you see a man with a nose ring, y'all, to me, I'm not saying I dislike them. What I'm saying is that's a level of I know I look good. Okay. That's a level of I know I'm very handsome. And that's how Donovan walked into the room. And that's why I was like, he cheated. He made some mistakes. I know he did. He didn't have to say it. I saw it on the nose ring. If he told you he was married before and he looked like that, he made some mistakes. So, anyway, y'all, that's where Precious is talking more about herself. But for some reason, this girl was a damn bunny rabbit this episode. She could not pipe down at all. She could not pipe down. So, she says, I've been single for 9 years. Y'all, this woman has been single for 9 years and she's only 32? She's only 32 and she's been single for 9 years. So to me, I'm like, what's going on? It didn't sound like she's been single by choice. It just sounds like that's what's been, I don't know. And then she's been celibate for 6 months. And, we've had conversations about celibacy, y'all. Oh, she's 34. Okay, 9 years is still a long ass time. She's been single since her early 20s. But y'all, we've had conversations about celibacy before, especially when it comes to this show. I feel like certain women, they get tired of being single. They try to do something drastic, hoping that it will render different results. So you see women in their 30s who say, man, I'm tired of being ran through, tired of meeting dudes at the club, tired of relationships not working for me. I'm going to go to church, I'm going to marry a deacon, and I'm going to move on. That's what they try to do. And that's what Precious is giving with this 6 month celibacy. But for her, it's not necessarily running to the church. It's running to Ready to Love and trying to find somebody. So she says, I've been celibate for 6 months and I'm busting out the seams. And then right after that, she was like, I'm so sorry. Did I kick you? My legs are long. I don't know if you like tall girls. Pick me. I felt like Precious was giving pick me whenever she was saying that she was busting out the seams. And next, whenever she was saying, I don't know if you like tall girls, you were trying to check his temperature. Ayana, yes, 6 months ain't celibate. That's just being single. Girl, I was thinking the same thing. But that's very telling. 6 months of no sex could equal celibacy for some people. And just being single for other people. So for Precious, I wonder if she's been the type of girl who has been like a, hey, what you doing, come through type of girl versus a sex equals relationship type of girl. And I think that this part was very telling. So anyway, Donovan never answers her question over if he's into tall girls or not. And in the confessional at the end of the day, he literally was like, this ain't it. He knew right away that was not it. He said he's been there, done that, and now he's looking for something a little bit more deeper, a deeper connection. He's looking for commitment, something long term. And the way that Precious is here about to jump out her damn skirt, he's like, nah, this ain't it. We ain't seen the end of Precious acting like that. So now, y'all, we finally see Laverne and Joy going on a date, and they look so cute. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm so used to seeing Joy with Clifton that seeing her with Laverne, I really enjoyed this date. I like Laverne as a person. He seems to be like really goofy. He seems to be able to get along with people very well. So that's why I wasn't understanding why all the girls were talking down on him at the beach house. I was like, why are y'all feeling some type of way about Laverne at this beach house? It was weird to me. We're going to talk about it. But anyway, this date was real cute. They said that they're both looking for friendship before anything in their relationship. And Joy ends up asking him a question. What is something that people don't know about you? And that's where his answer was a little bit confusing to me. The thing he decided to tell her was that he's never had a traditional relationship. And I really think it was Laverne who had 2 daughters, right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but Laverne has 2 daughters, and I feel like they're in their 20s. So for him to say that he's never had a traditional relationship and that he's simply just been dating, I wonder what the situation was with the 2 girls' mothers or mother, because we don't know if he had 2 baby mamas or one. So I'm like, okay, interesting. Anyway, they end up finishing the date off with a little playful mess, trying to get clay on each other, and they end up like wrestling and hugging. And I'm like, that's cute. I like the 2 of them. I do like the 2 of them. But this date, more than anything, showed that, okay, thank you. Yes, he has 2 daughters and he was divorced. That's exactly what I thought. So what do you mean you've never had the true relationship experience if you were a married man before? Very confusing, very confusing. Not unless what happened was he was married really early and he felt like he's never got to date around and be in a relationship. I don't know. But the answer to me didn't make sense. Whatever. So more than anything, this date showed that Clifton is going to have some real competition. So I'm here for it. Bring on the drama. It seems like Joy is going to have her pick of either Laverne or Clifton. So next, y'all, we see AP and Demetrius. And it's something about AP that just gives motherly. There's nothing about AP, in my opinion, with the dudes on the show that just comes off as like, ooh, I want her. Ooh, I gotta have her. And that's not just the physical, okay? Let's be real, okay? Joy is the chosen one on this show because 1, she's beautiful. 2, she could get around and play with the boys, make for good fun conversation, and has sex appeal. AP, I don't see those things. Whenever I see AP, I think about like your mama's friend that stopped by the house all the time. And this whole episode, you could tell that her lead is the fact that she is widowed. She still seems very closed off, even though she says that she's ready for love. There's nothing about her personality or her conversations that says I'm actually ready. So she was excited to go on this date with Demetrius, but she was still very firm. And Demetrius said that he was looking for someone who's more of a nurturer. So he asked her if she was affectionate, and she said yes, that her love language is actually physical touch. Then, of course, she starts talking about her late husband again. And Demetrius ends the date by saying that there was a connection, but it just wasn't a romantic one. So this is something that we also see later on in the episode whenever AP has a conversation with Eric. And I don't think that this is it. AP, you're going to go home eventually. And I think that you might as well self-eliminate because AP was telling Demetrius herself that it's been difficult for her to make connections. She says she wants to find love. She's open to connections, but it's just been difficult for her to do that there. I'm not understanding. It's something about whenever I see her on these dates, it's something that's missing, very missing. And if you really think about it, she still seems sad to me. She still seems sad to me. I haven't seen any like joy spark from her when she's had conversations on this show. The only thing that they show is her talking about her late husband. She still seems sad. And I'm with the rest of y'all. I don't think she's ready. I don't think she's ready. And then she also said that her husband was 14 years her senior. So if she is 42 and her husband passed away, she said at that point 4 years ago, that would have made her 28. Wait, hold on. What? 42, not 32. 42 passed away 4 years ago. That would have made her 38. Add 14 of that. Her husband was like 52, 53 when he passed. And the cutoff for this show is 49, I think. So all of these men are way too young for her. So yeah, she's not ready for love and is not on this show. So we get another fun scene. I love whenever they get the entire group together, especially for some type of pool scene. And the men and women meet at the beach house. The men are talking about what it's like to date now that they're older and that they're looking for something serious. And then here comes Tommy arriving on a sailboat. Shortly after that, the ladies arrive. And we find out that there's no more adding new people. So now we're focusing on the quality. Now it's down to a regular dating show. Nobody new is showing up. So if you like somebody here, you better hold on to them. So Carmen was having a conversation with one of the ladies, and she said that her and Clifton actually went on a date. Y'all tell me if y'all heard that part in the episode, because I was like, excuse me, what? Because whenever they went on that group date, 2 episodes, when Carmen was on the same group date as Clifton, to me, it seemed like Clifton was not interested in her at all because she had them baby Jesus, the white baby Jesus, blue contacts on. And then we see a flashback clip of Carmen and Clifton actually going on a date. And she says that they were vibing. In the same breath, y'all, Carmen thinks too highly of herself. So even if they weren't vibing, I don't know if Clifton would have told her that. But more than anything, I'm trying to take into account, like, is Clifton for everybody? Because did you have to go on a one-on-one date with her, or is that just something you decided to do after you said you wasn't feeling them contacts she was wearing? He said a couple episodes ago that he was not feeling Carmen, and then we find out that you went on a one-on-one date on her. I was like, what? Yes, y'all peeped it too? Y'all peeped it? Clifton playing games. That's why I'm just like, what is going on? Yes, Rainy, he's definitely one of those that you have to watch, because I thought you weren't feeling her, but whatever. So we see a couple conversations happen at this beach house. So let's go ahead and highlight a few of them. So first we see Dakia and Donovan having a conversation. You know, I don't really mind this couple. Dakia is an all-around girl. Dakia is successful. She's pretty. She's easy to talk to, which is why I see a lot of the men are interested in her. And it seems like she's more of Donovan's speed. The only thing that would deter their relationship from growing is if he wants to have children or not. He might already have kids since he was married for 12 years. So this might actually work out. We'll see. But they both spark an interest in each other. And it seems like, we probably will see them have a one-on-one date in the future. Next, you remember, y'all, I was telling y'all about Tina, the new girl. Number one, I thought it was I ain't gonna call it a red flag. I thought it was like an orange flag that Tina came on the show and kept leading with the fact that she was in a toxic relationship. Hey, Angeles. New subscriber, welcome. This show comes on Fridays on OWN. I think it comes on at like 7 or 8, but we don't review it until Sundays. So anyway, I'm gonna call it an orange flag that Tina kept leading with the fact that she was in a toxic relationship. It turned into a red flag for me once she had to sit down with Paul and she was explaining to Paul that she has always been dating up. She says, when I was in middle school, I was dating high schoolers. When I was in high school, I was dating college people and so on and so forth. And I'm just like, I don't know. To me, I know people used to do it back in the day, but I was like, that's not really a flex. In 2022, I don't think it's a flex to say that when you were in middle school, you were dating high schoolers, and when you were in high schoolers, when you were in high school, you were dating college people. I was like, that's weird. It was almost as if she was trying to prove to Paul, like, hey, our age gap isn't a big deal at all because you are my type. And Paul is the red flag. Once I saw the attraction, I was like, why are you attracted to Paul? That's the red flag. You told us you were in a toxic ass relationship before, and yet you're choosing Paul, who seems like he wants to raise you. I'm just like, come on. Thank you. Where is J-Dub? Because he clocked Clifton on episode 1. That's too funny. Gigi says daddy issues. Girl. Ain't no telling, okay? So that's another one. Y'all tell me if y'all are kind of like side-eyeing Tiffany, trying to figure out what's wrong with her, because The only people I feel like who have been outwardly attracted to Paul are women who is like something wrong with them, like Precious. The minute that I saw her attraction to Paul, I was like, it's something wrong with her. It's something wrong with her. So I don't know. Maybe Tina doesn't know Paul well enough yet to clock some of his negative traits. But to me, I'm like, I don't know. So let's move on to that, to talking about Dakia and Eric. So Dakia and Eric are having a conversation in the kitchen, and he's a chef, y'all. So I'm like, yep, Dakia, you in the right spot. That'll be nice to never have to cook again. But Eric is the one cooking for everybody. And to remind y'all, Dakia was the one who introduced Eric to the group. So they've had a connection from day one, and it seems to be his strongest connection. So Eric makes it clear to the kid when they're in there, like, nah, it's you. Like, it's still you. I still really enjoy you. You're still my number one in so many words. Carmen comes in there, cock blocking, titties out, everything. And she cock blocks, and the kid ends up saying, okay, I'll let you go, Eric. So, like, I'm not about to compete with this girl. I feel you on that, Dakia. And we find out that Eric and Carmen already knew each other. Carmen makes some joke where it's like, oh, you're mine, she need to leave or something like that. And Eric was like, haha. She was like, I'm joking. He was like, you're not joking. She just felt so comfortable to rub her hands all over his back, to hug him. And it didn't really seem like he was into it the way that she was into it at all. But it felt very much like she was trying to mark her territory. And it don't seem like Eric is feeling you that type of way. So Eric and Carmen already know each other. She's actually hired him for events before, to cook and to chef, cater, whatever you want to call it. But their friendship never has gotten to that point. So now he says it's to the point where they can explore that. Carmen then starts putting that pressure on Eric. And girl, I don't know if you've seen this show before, but it's never good when you put the pressure on somebody to choose you as number one, because then he's going to be reluctant. Like, why are you forcing me to choose you so fast? And whenever Carmen says, who's your number one? It's me, right? Eric says, the mouth says number one. Do y'all know what that means? That means you're saying that you're my number one, but I'm not saying that. And to be honest, y'all, I think Eric was just being nice to her because they have a business relationship, because he has been hired for her events before. But I don't think he want her like that. Yes, Ayana, I agree. Carmen acts like she is what every man wants. T says Carmen is doing the most. And y'all, I clocked this from the time we first met her, when she came on the screen talking about, I want him to grab my hair because it's real. Girl, if you don't get out of here, like, it was something about Carmen to me that just came off as just real unappealing, really competitive in like a nasty type of way. She thought that she was better than a lot of the other ladies on the show, whereas Dakia is graceful. Dakia ain't got to do all that. Dakia can show up with that hot pink and just be herself. And Carmen has to put it all in her face, all in his face. I'm just like, girl, not really pressed on you at all. So, of course, we see some other people having conversations. We see Ace and Tori having conversations, which was kind of cute. He did a little freestyle rap, which is funny. But let's go ahead and talk about Precious. Precious has been making her way around this house. She's horny AF. You see her taking the water hose, telling what is this man's name? Clifton, to bend over so she can spank his booty with the water hose. You see her saying something to Paul that's like pretty sexual. Then you see her talking to Demetrius. Like, Demetrius, I see you with the pecs. Like, every single joke she's making is sexual. And you can tell that this woman is a combination of horny and drunk. Her and the bayang is horny and drunk. So Demetrius pulls her to the side and he basically tells her, like, hey, you're doing the most. He says, I've been there before. I've done that. I know that you're not joking. I know that you're dead serious when you're making these jokes. And he's saying that all of this is going to overshadow who you really are. He's dating to get to know someone, and it doesn't seem like Precious is coming off that way. Precious then explains to him, and if y'all didn't realize, as the episode goes on, her voice gets more hoarse and more hoarse. And that, to me, I just felt like she was getting more and more drunk, and more vulgar with the jokes. Which is low key why her and Paul would be a good match. So maybe that's why she was going for Paul. But anyway, Precious explains to Demetrius, like, we're different. You're real classy based. I like to act a damn fool because I like to see how people will react to my conversations. And I like to, check people's energy. I don't think it was a good answer at all. I think that she was just horny and drunk. And that's exactly what we've been seeing. But Demetrius was telling her, like, pipe down. We don't need all that. So I think it was cool of him to tell her, like, hey, what you're doing now is going to overshadow the way that we look at you. And I think he was doing that as a friend to try to prevent her from going home. But she ain't going to listen. So next, y'all, let's talk about Sabrina and Demetrius. We see Sabrina and Demetrius having a conversation. Oh, I skipped, y'all. I skipped. Sabrina had to sit down with Tori first. So what we're seeing is Sabrina, Tori, and Demetrius in a love triangle. He brought her some cupcakes, and he was a little bit more transparent about the way he felt with Sabrina. So she says that she feels like Tori might have a slight edge on Demetrius. So y'all tell me y'all's thoughts on this. When it comes to Sabrina and Demetrius, I feel like they just both like the way that each other looks. They had that one deep conversation, but other than that, Demetrius has not been chasing her, and Sabrina wants to be chased. But then it seems like Demetrius also wants to be chased too. So their relationship is basically going nowhere. And then you have somebody like Tori who's really chasing after Sabrina, doing exactly the things that she wants Demetrius to do, but he won't do it. So I think that Sabrina should choose Tori, but she likes that beard. She likes the beard and the bald milk dug head. So I think she is really just, if Demetrius supplies the same energy as Tori, she's choosing Demetrius. So anyway, y'all, we see Sabrina and Demetrius. And Demetrius says that he wants to go out of his way to make sure that Sabrina knows that he's still fighting for her. Y'all, to be honest, I think Demetrius probably got word that Sabrina got them damn cupcakes. Demetrius also knows that last episode, he didn't even really talk to Sabrina on the date. So he probably like, damn, he got her some cupcakes. Damn, he talked to her on the bus. Let me go ahead and pull her to the side to let her know I'm still interested. Sabrina really enjoyed that he did that. And she basically said to him, like, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. And he's telling her that he's in it for her. So next, y'all, let's move on to Clifton and Joy. Clifton and Joy, they walked off somewhere because wherever they was at was quiet as hell. And they were joking, playing around. Joy said something about, oh yeah, but I want to get wet. I want to get wet for sure. And one thing I kept noticing throughout this season was that the men keep making corny sexual jokes with Joy. But Joy always has a comeback. So I wonder if Joy is the one who's initiating this, because you can tell, as we talked about last week, she has a little bit of masculine energy, which is not a bad thing. She jokes like a dude. So it's her who is participating in the dirty jokes as well. And I'm like, I mean, if you like it, I love it. So Joy and y'all, I'm combining their names. What's going on? Joy and Difton. Clifton and Joy, they still have strong chemistry. And it seems like it's an understanding that they're both each other's number ones. So next, y'all, we also see some of the ladies having conversations about Laverne. I'm really not understanding why. Okay. We see Precious, Carmen, and Sabrina having a conversation, and they said that they don't like Laverne's energy, that he has a God complex, and he's been walking around wanting the women to come to him, and he hasn't been talking to anyone. Sabrina was like, oh, he's avoiding me like the plague. Don't forget, y'all, Laverne is really upset because Sabrina didn't want him. Okay. Ever since Laverne admitted that Sabrina never called him back that day, He's been mentioning her name in every elimination. And I hate when the men operate like that. Just because she don't want you does not mean that you should get her sent home. You know that Sabrina is competition on the lady side. You know Sabrina has the option of two, could have been three men if she acted like she liked you. But I'm paying attention to how Laverne is mentioning Sabrina's name for yet another elimination round. So anyway, Laverne hadn't been talking to nobody. So I'm just like, what is going on? Of course, Joy and Clifton, we talked about that. So now it is time to get into the deliberation. I was like, oh my gosh, y'all are about to send somebody home at the beach house. Y'all not waiting until y'all getting home to do the one-on-one date. Somebody is packing their bags and going home for good today. So Tommy, he gets into who are you feeling, who are you not feeling? Wiley and Paul both say that they're feeling Tina, but Paul thought he was slick by hitting Wiley with that, yeah, she like older dudes. I'm her type. Then Demetrius and Troy, they both say that they like Sabrina. Demetrius ain't saying nothing. He just side-eyeing because he like, bet. Clifton, he says Carmen. What? I am confusion, you guys. Clifton actually mentions Carmen's name first as far as who he's feeling. And then he also mentions Joy. Now, I'm looking at Clifton sideways because you didn't like those contacts. And honestly, I think Joy is cuter than Carmen, and I think you know that. I think you just like Carmen's ass. And I think Carmen is with the shits. And she might bust it wide open on the weekends when y'all hang out and the cameras ain't around. She get that energy. And I think that's why you're more inclined to take an interest in Carmen, regardless of the blue contacts or not. Are y'all getting that vibe or nah? Okay. Y'all getting that vibe or nah? Clifton shocked the hell out of me. Carmen in my Soulja Boy voice. Carmen. No, for real. I was like, what the Carmen? But I think that's why. She got a fat ass. Okay. And she seems to be with the shit. She might bust it open on the weekends. So I think that's why he's like, yeah, you know, Carmen ain't that bad as long as she's not wearing the blue contacts. Now, Laverne, he mentions Ace. He's feeling Ace. And Joy is me. Whenever he said Joy is me, that was him letting Clifton know, like, Joy, that's all me. Because he was feeling himself after that date. I think that I think Laverne continues to say Ace because he feels like he has Ace in his back pocket. But ever since he had that date with Joy, it's really Joy that's his number one. But he wants to know if Joy is feeling Clifton or not. Nah, for real. You don't want Carmen at all. You don't want Carmen at all. Yep. He showed he was for the streets. I started looking at him crazy as soon as he said Carmen, because before you didn't like her. You weren't feeling her like that. So as far as who are you not feeling, everybody says Precious. Okay. She's doing the most. But the two people who mentioned Sabrina are the two people who are salty as fuck. Okay. Laverne mentioned Sabrina. You're mad because Sabrina never called you back. Paul mentioned Sabrina. You're mad because Sabrina told us that you were giving daddy/mentor vibes and she wasn't feeling you like that. I'm like, are you serious? Sabrina said she didn't want to waste your time. Sabrina was being honest. She was being direct. You had plenty of other women to date on the show, but just because Sabrina said she didn't want you, both you and Laverne are making it a point to bring her name up in not one, but 2 or 3 eliminations. Y'all salty as hell. So we finally get to the elimination and Tommy takes up the task, or he gives one of the men the task to announce who is going home. T, let's spend a moment talking about this. She said, notice Paul didn't go up for Precious like she did for him. Girl, you ain't never lied. So many people said Precious, and Paul did not go up for her, not one time. And that's why I told y'all Precious was giving pick me vibes from the jump. Her and the Bayang were giving pick me. Precious, I need you to pack your bags. Honestly, y'all, in my mind, they left us on a cliffhanger. They didn't let us know who was going home this episode. Okay. Demetrius was the one who announced to everybody, who will be going home. He says, AP, will you stand a step forward? Precious, and your Bayang, will you stand a step forward? And they left us on a cliffhanger. If I got to be real with y'all, AP is going to go home. I think that AP is going to go home just because she hasn't done anything wrong. She's just been floating around. Whereas with Precious, the men are not feeling her sexually aggressive, nature. They don't like to see that in women, but the men can do it, of course. The men can tell you that, his penis can touch your damn kidneys and he ain't going home. But either way it goes, Precious, I wouldn't have came to the men like that. But you can't do that because the shit don't work the same. So we don't know who's going home. Y'all tell me in the comments, who do y'all think is going home? Lady J says she thinks that AP is going home. T says she wants AP to go home, but she thinks it's gonna be Precious. Don't know what the rest of y'all are thinking, but we're gonna see. Okay, I think that Precious is gonna go home, even though it should be AP. Just because I think the men are gonna feel more strongly about Precious going home. A lot of y'all think AP. It should be AP, but I just don't think it will be. AP. It should be AP. Y'all, I guess we gotta wait a week to find out, okay? So, I hope y'all enjoyed this Sunday's chat. Thank y'all for joining me. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter because I always post the links to the videos before I go live. That way you know if YouTube doesn't tell you, because sometimes YouTube be playing with the notifications, y'all. Okay? I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all later on this week. We'll see what day I come to y'all with a documentary or another show. I ain't gonna hold no promises because it'd be a lot going on. I might razzle dazzle something new. I might razzle dazzle drop something on the channel this week. But if not, y'all will for sure see me on Thursday, okay? So I hope y'all have an amazing Sunday. Bye.